Every morning you wake up, and with this awakening, it's not just a new day that begins. It's a moment when you have a real chance to change everything, not on the outside, but within. This isn't mysticism. It's neurophysiology, circadian rhythms, and brain function. Morning is a window. When light hits your retinas, your biological clock is activated. Your body starts producing serotonin, the hormone of energy, mood, and movement. Your brain gradually transitions from the deep phases of sleep, delta and theta, and moves through the alpha state into beta, the state of full wakefulness. But what matters most is not just the fact that you woke up. It's what you do in the first 15 minutes. That's the time when the boundary between your subconscious and your conscious mind is still thin. The analytical mind, that filter that protects your subconscious, hasn't fully kicked in yet. You are in an alpha state, and in this state, you are highly receptive to suggestion, to mental programming. You can either keep reliving yesterday or start creating a new version of yourself. But most people do something else. They grab their phone, messages, news, social media, and with that, the brain reactivates the past, because everything familiar triggers familiar reactions, old thoughts, old emotions, old chemical patterns, and suddenly you feel irritated, anxious, rushed, short on time. Even though nothing has happened yet, you just recreated yesterday. Our brain is wired to crave the emotional cocktail it's used to. If you've been waking up with feelings of lack, anxiety, resentment, or fatigue for years, your body begins to expect them. It demands those states. That's how a programmed personality is created. And that's why research shows that 95% of our thoughts, emotions, and actions are automatic. We live from the subconscious, while thinking we're making conscious decisions. But there's good news. Awareness is how we rewrite the subconscious. And every morning is your opportunity to start that process. What if you started your day differently? Not with your phone, but with a question. Who do I want to be when I open my eyes? What if you turned your attention inward, imagined your goal, your future, your upgraded self, and allowed your body to feel that reality right now? Science confirms the brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined. If you vividly visualize something with detail and emotion, your brain begins to form new neural connections. They're like trails in a forest. At first, they're narrow and unstable, but the more you walk them, the more they become real pathways. And the more you repeat those visions of your future, the more tangible they become. You start acting not from memory, but from vision. This is the quantum model of reality. The old model says, get the result, then feel joy. The new one says, feel joy, and the result will follow. If you want love, teach your body how to feel love. If you want abundance, start by feeling gratitude. If you want health, feel wholeness now. You stop waiting, and you start creating. This is work. You sit down, close your eyes. You begin to observe yourself from the outside. What thoughts no longer serve you? What emotions are you ready to leave behind? What reactions, habits, and states no longer match who you want to become? You begin to unlearn. You're unraveling the old version of yourself while teaching yourself how to become new. And each time you catch yourself thinking automatically, that's already awareness. Each time you say, next time, I'll choose differently, that's evolution. You're not a victim. You're a creator. You're no longer reacting unconsciously. You're responding consciously. Yes, it will be hard in the beginning. Your body will resist. It'll try to pull you back into the comfort zone of old habits. It'll crave the chemistry of fear, resentment, stress, doubt. But the more conscious you are, the stronger you become. It's like training. At first, it's painful. Then, it becomes easier. And eventually, it becomes natural. You no longer need outer events to change you. You change, and the events respond. That's how hormones, DNA, and biology work. The emotions you feel are signals that either activate or suppress your genes. Every state of being either strengthens you or weakens you. You're not just thinking, you're creating chemistry. You're programming your body. When you feel joy, you produce dopamine and oxytocin. When you feel gratitude, your immune system gets a boost. When you live in love, your body begins to regenerate. You're not just observing, you're influencing. With every breath, every choice, every thought. Now imagine, you start every day with intention, with a practice of presence, with a conscious choice. You're forming a new personality. You're no longer acting from the past. You're acting from the future. And at some point, your body catches up. You're no longer pretending to live a new life. You're actually living it. You feel different. You breathe differently. You look at the world differently. Your reactions are different. You let go more easily. You don't get stuck. You inspire yourself. You become that version of yourself that once seemed like a distant dream. And this is where the biggest transformation begins. You stop depending on the external world. Your energy is within. Your strength is awareness. You learn to choose your thoughts, your mood, your actions. And you no longer seek motivation. You become it. You become that version of yourself that once felt impossible. And then comes the deeper layer, your subconscious mind. It controls your breath, your heartbeat, millions of processes in your body. It's your autopilot, where all your habits, fears, reactions, and beliefs are stored. By changing your conscious mind, you slowly gain access to these deeper programs and begin to rewrite the very identity you live by. This is exactly what Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches, a neuroscientist, researcher, and speaker who has scientifically explained how thoughts and feelings shape your body, your genes, and your life. His approach is based on brain research, thousands of personal transformations, and a clear method to reprogram the subconscious through visualization, meditation, and daily discipline. It's not about wishing. It's about training your mind to create a different future than your past. And if you've listened this far, you've already taken action. You've made a choice. You've taken a step. This isn't just passive watching. This is your internal starting point. So let's mark it with something simple. Hit the like button. Yes, just that. A small physical action. But it's the first ripple in a wave of change. Let this be your first step toward becoming who you truly want to be.